The Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to vote this week to send the nomination to the Supreme Court of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Senate floor. But will a letter accusing Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct in high school derail his confirmation? Joining us now from Louisiana, Senator John Kennedy, a Republican member of the Judiciary Committee. We should note we invited all 10 committee Democrats to join us today. None of them accepted. But we're happy to have you, Senator Kennedy. What do you make of this allegation against Kavanaugh back when he was a teenager? Do you think it'll do anything to derail his nomination, his confirmation?
I'm fairly confident that our founding fathers did not intend the process to work this way. So far, it's pretty much been an intergalactic freak show. Senator Grassley, our chairman, did the best he could at the hearing. Senators kept interrupting him. They ignored the rules. We had over 240 protesters who stood up screaming. The only thing missing, I think, was the genitalia-shaped headgear. There were wild accusations about Kavanaugh, that he's evil, he hates women, he hates children, he hates little warm puppies. And now we have this recent allegation by Senator Feinstein. I mean, here's what we know. She's produced a letter. It's a secret letter, and we're not entitled to see it or know who wrote it. It supposedly was put together with the help of Stanford Law School. The lady in the letter says that 35 years ago, when she was a teenager and Judge Kavanaugh was a teenager, he allegedly made sexual advances against her at a party. Now, Kavanaugh denies it. The only other person in the room denies it. Senator Feinstein's had the letter since July for 3 months. She said nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Zilch. She didn't say anything in the confirmation hearing. She didn't say anything in our confidential session with Judge Kavanaugh when the senators and the nominee met privately. And now, after it's all over, she produces the letter. I think, Chris, in my opinion, most Americans are looking at this, most mainstream Americans, and they're thinking that Congress has hit rock bottom and started to dig. And I have been embarrassed by the whole process, and frankly, I'm no disrespect to Senator Feinstein or to Stanford Law School, but I'm a little bit offended. I sit on Judiciary Committee. They've had this stuff for 3 months. If they were serious about it, they should have told us about it.
Okay, so that was a full answer. Do you think that your committee will approve the Kavanaugh nomination and send it to the floor on this week as scheduled?
Yes, I think the vote will be 11-10.
That's a straight party line vote.
Straight party line vote. I think the nomination will come to the floor. That'll be up to Senator McConnell. I think every Republican will vote for Judge Kavanaugh. I think at least 2 and probably more Democrats will. You may disagree with Judge Kavanaugh's political or judicial philosophy. I don't. Kavanaugh believes that the role of a judge is to interpret the law, not make the law, and I agree with that. No fair-minded American can believe that he's not qualified. He went to Yale Law School. He didn't get his law degree from Costco. He has a total command of Supreme Court precedent. I think he's a legal rock star. Now, this new allegation, I don't know what our Democratic friends expect us to do. What do they want us to do? We got a letter, but it's secret. We don't know who wrote it. All we know is that a female wrote it from California, and Stanford Law School helped her write it. And we can't see who are going to cross-examine? Senator Feinstein? I mean, give me a break.
I want to ask you, as I think folks already recognize if they didn't know you already, you're colorful. And one of the things that you say is that this hearing showed that crazy never takes a vacation in Congress. I want to ask you about two Democratic senators and what they did in the hearings. First of all, Cory Booker, who said he was defying the rules and releasing confidential emails. Here he is.
I will say that I did willingly violate the chair's rule on the committee confidential process. I take full responsibility for violating that, sir.
But, of course, as we all know now, it turns out that the committee had already released those confidential emails before Cory Booker made such a big show about releasing them. And then there was Democratic Senator Kamala Harris, who sounded like she had a bombshell. Here she is.
Have you discussed Mueller or his investigation with anyone at Kasowitz, Benson, and Torres, the law firm founded by Mark Kasowitz, President Trump's personal lawyer? Be sure about your answer, sir.
But as alarming as that sounded, Senator Harris never produced any evidence that, in fact, Kavanaugh had talked to anyone at the law firm about Robert Mueller. What do you think was going on with the Democrats in this hearing?
Well, I'm not going to impugn the motives of Senator Harris or Senator Booker. In fact, I was presiding for Senator Grassley when Senator Booker first started his cross-examination of the judge with a document that was supposed to be confidential. And I was asked to cut him off. I said, no, I'm not going to cut him off. Let's let it rip. Let it rip. Let it all come out. But here's the bottom line. Both Cory and Senator Harris, they want an activist liberal judge. They want a judge who will rewrite the Constitution every other Thursday to advance political agendas that they can't get by the voters in a representative democracy through Congress. Now, I don't. I think that judges are supposed to call the balls and the strikes. They're supposed to say what the law is, not what the law ought to be. We just disagree. Now, that's why God made Congress. Let's go vote. Here's where we are. Let's go vote. We've done everything we can do. I know we got the last minute secret allegation, but there's nothing we can do about that. Kavanaugh's been through 6, not 4, not 5, 6 FBI background checks. None of this stuff has ever come up before.
Senator?
Let's go vote.
Senator, I got about a minute left, so I'm going to ask you, I'm going to invoke cloture here. I want to switch subjects with you and ask you about Paul Manafort's decision to take a plea deal and agree to cooperate with the special counsel. Your thoughts on how big a deal this conceivably could be? All of this is just speculation. I can speculate as well as anybody else, but none of us know, Chris. Here's what I do know. I do know that Russia tried to interfere in our election in 2016. They've only been doing it for 50 years. And other countries probably did and are trying to do it right now for the midterms. That's number one. Number two, I don't think that Mr. Mueller should be fired. I think we ought to let him finish his investigation. I wish he would hurry. He needs to get to the bottom of this, but do it quickly. Right. Number three, I want him to report to the American people, give them the facts. The American people are smart enough to figure it out. And then let's get back to the business of trying to fix this country. Senator Kennedy, thank you. Thanks for your time. And, of course, we'll follow this week's vote by the Judiciary Committee. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chris.